Alrighty, Rocketers, have you ever had to sell something almost identical to others in your industry? How do you stand out in a noisy world? We're in for a treat today because we have Dr. Donald Moine, a marketing and sales psychologist in the business for over 50 years and also a top 10 best-selling author of the book Unlimited Selling Power. He has documented sales increases of over $9 billion for some of the largest corporate brands in the world. And he's going to share with us the story today of Ben Feldman and how to stand out in a noisy world and be the top selling salesperson inside of your company.
I'd like to share with all of our listeners and viewers out there is the story of Ben Feldman, one of the truly great sales superstars of all time. Ben Feldman sold in his best years about 100 times more than the average life insurance agent in America. He was selling the same product or very similar products to the products that every other insurance agent had access to. In this case, it was whole life insurance. And for 30 years, Ben Feldman outsold every other insurance agent in the world. Even if you're not selling insurance, there are many, many powerful lessons you can learn from Ben Feldman. And to paint the picture a little bit more fully so that you really appreciate the incredible contribution that Ben made, he's really like a superstar athlete. He's like one of the greatest athletes, one of the greatest Olympic athletes or pro athletes you've ever met, just in a league of his own as being a super performer. Ben did not live in a big city where it's easy to make lots of contacts. He lived in a little town called East Liverpool, Ohio. Ben Feldman was not 6 feet 4 inches tall and movie star handsome. Ben Feldman was a little shorter, a bit of a shorter man. He was a bit heavy set. To me, he was one of the most handsome men in the world. I was privileged to spend about 5 days of my life with him. We were both featured speakers at a big life insurance, international life insurance Congress in the Philippines. We were in Manila. And Ben was born with a lisp. Ben was born with a severe speech impediment. So he talked kind of like this, and he learned to overcome it. He was very insecure as a young man. So what I want you to think about, because it's really mind-blowing, is that how can a short, kind of heavy-set man with a speech impediment outsell about 1 million other life insurance agents in the world? It's really inspirational. There's a lot we can learn from it. One of the ways Ben did this is he fell in love with his product. Most people, they learn the basics of the product. Ben literally memorized everything from the rate books. So he knew if you were 38 years old, had certain health problems, had certain weight, that you would likely pay this much for $100,000 worth of life insurance. So he memorized everything about the product. He owned the product. He bought the product. It's amazing, folks. I do a lot of work with financial planners. I'm a sales and marketing psychologist. Instead of working with neurotics, psychotics, and schizophrenics, that's very important. That's what most psychologists do, or they're school psychologists. For my entire career of 35 years, I have worked with sales superstars, sales champions, and people who want to be sales champions. That's what I wrote my books about. And most people learn the basics of the product, but they don't really get into it the way that Ben did, and they don't own their product. I know if you're selling Rolls Royces, maybe you can't own a Rolls Royce, but a lot of us, we can own our product. And that shows a real belief in it. So Ben bought a lot of life insurance. He truly believed in the product. I've done a lot of work on Wall Street. And I know that Michael has also. Before this podcast, we were reminiscing about our experiences there. And it's astonishing how many mutual fund managers do not own the mutual funds that they manage. They're not eating their cooking. So folks, eat your cooking. If you can, buy what you are selling to others. You have to walk your talk. So, and then in falling in love with the product, Ben figured out new ways of talking about life insurance, new ways of describing life insurance that no one had ever used. I love words. My PhD is in psycholinguistics, the science of words and language. I love the power of words. You know, words can get people to do anything. Words can get people to march off to war. Words can get people to fall in love with you. If you don't have the right words, they can get people to fall out of love with you. That's why half the marriages in America end in divorce. Words are incredibly powerful. They change the world. The words that our world leaders use literally change the world for the better or for the worse. Ben came up with new words for selling life insurance. Our time's limited. I'll just give you a few. One of the things Ben would say early in meeting with people is he would talk about life insurance, and people would say, oh, I have too much life insurance, or I don't think I need life insurance. And, they would kind of have a know-it-all attitude. They would kind of brush him off because there are a lot of life insurance agents. And Ben would say, I understand. He had kind of a calm, soothing voice, and he would look at them in the eyes, and he would say, he had big eyes, and he would say, I understand. He said, let me ask you a question. Do you know how to spell the word insurance? People would say, sure, I do, Ben. And he would say, spell it for me, please. Insuran. And he said, no. Now, listen to me. Do you know how to spell the word insurance? And so they're a little bit confused. Yes, isn't it INSURA? No, Ben. It's no. Think about what insurance does. Think about why people buy insurance. It may not be right for you. This is a real smart thing he did, Michael. This is the takeaway. He said, it may not be right for you. It's right for other people, because I have a lot of very, very successful clients who buy a lot of life insurance, but maybe it's not right for you. So this triggers their curiosity. You want to say things that trigger deeper thinking on the prospect's part. Curiosity, very powerful human motivator. Oh, it's mind-blowing what it can do. He says, do you know how to spell the word insurance? And they would start it again and say, no. That's not the way you spell insurance. The way you spell insurance, it explains what insurance does and why people buy it. There's only one way to spell insurance. It's LOVE. Because the only reason you buy insurance is because you really love someone. And you want to make sure, heaven forbid, Michael, if anything happened to you, you want to make sure that your wife and you were telling me about your 18-year-old son and your family, that they will never have to worry about money again. And you buy insurance because you deeply, deeply love someone. I don't know, it may not be right for you. You told me earlier you like to invest in real estate. I like to invest in real estate. I own real estate. But insurance can do something real estate can't do. Only insurance can build an instant estate. If you buy this policy, and heaven forbid, if something should happen to you and you walk out tomorrow, he never used the word death, by the way. A lot of insurance agents use the word death, very negative word, one of the most negative words in the English language. Here's the way a lot of insurance agents talk. I've worked with hundreds of insurance agents. I'm connected to probably over 1,000 insurance agents on LinkedIn. So if you're in insurance and financial planning, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. But here's the way they talk. They go, Michael, think about when you die. Think about when you die. Think about when you're dead. Think about when you're dead and rotting in the ground. They don't literally say that, but it's almost that bad. And they wonder, why do people not want to meet with me? Why don't they want to come to my office? Well, you're always talking about, think about when you're dead. Think about death. And so he would never use the word death. This is totally different than other life insurance agents. So he would use words like, if you walk out, Michael, if you walk out, let me walk in. Can I walk in with this check for $500,000 and hand it to your wife and say, Michael really, really loved you. He talked about you all the time. He wanted you to have this. Can I walk in with a check for $1 million or $2 million? Michael, I've done that for many families just like yours. I hope I don't have to do it for you. But I can help you buy insurance for pennies on the dollar. People would say, oh, you just sell insurance. He said, no, I don't sell insurance. I don't sell insurance. This is a whole other brand new thing he came up with. No one had ever said. He said, I sell dollar bills for pennies on the dollar. How many do you want to buy? People thought, what? You sell dollar bills for pennies on the dollar? How many can I get? Ben says, I don't know. It depends on your health. Some of my clients have millions of dollars of life insurance. They buy it. I can help them buy it at a super discount price. There's no cost to apply. And if you get approved and you change your mind, you can always turn down the life insurance company. So you're always in the driver's seat. So he had these magical ways of talking about insurance. And, he would do the takeaway. It may not be right for you. And it would make people want it even more. And he would compare it to, people would say, oh, I invest in the stock market. I don't need insurance. He said, well, let me ask you a question. What stocks have you bought recently? Oh, I bought General Motors. I bought Bank of America. I bought whatever they would say. He would say, those are good stocks. Those are good companies. But how much did you put in? Oh, I put in $100,000. I'm a big shot. So great. If something should happen to you tomorrow, Michael, how much more valuable might the $100,000 in stocks be? Think they might go up $1,000, $2,000, maybe. So your wife, your family, they might have $102,000. Yeah. Well, if you put $100,000 into a single premium life insurance policy, depending upon your age and health, tomorrow, if something happens to you tonight, tomorrow, your family might get $1 million. They might get $2 million. Insurance is the only thing that builds an instant estate. No other investment can do that. So he blew people's minds. He gave them whole new ways of thinking about it. And so at the end of some of these conversations he had with people, they would say, how much can I get? How soon can we apply? It was almost effortless. It was like a dance. It's like no force. The way that a lot of life insurance agents sell, I've been hired by companies to go on sales calls with life insurance agents to figure out, what are the superstars doing? This is called expert modeling. You build a model of what your champions are doing, because frequently they can't explain it. They're like great athletes. They can do it, but they can't teach it. How many great athletes become great coaches? Almost none, because it's intuitive. They built the skill over a lot of time. It's two separate sets of skills, being able to do it and be able to teach it. So you expert model them. You build a model of what your superstars do. And then when you have that model, a step-by-step model, you can insert it into other people. And that's how sales soar. You get rid of all the theory of sales and you teach what your champions do. Every company has them. And it just amazes me that they're not studying their superstars. They have these thick, dusty manuals or some online stuff, and it has good material in it about how to sell life insurance 101 or how to sell annuities or how to do financial plan. There's some good stuff in there, but a lot of it is, truthfully, it's rote, it's boring, and it needs an invigoration of life. It needs, you need the juices, you need the creativity, the sales genius of your superstars. So those are some of the things that motivate me and turn me on, because I'm motivated by helping people get breakthroughs, whether it's, in their personal lives, because I'm a PhD psychologist. So I'm really motivated by personal growth, or in their business lives, selling a lot more, making a lot more money. I'm helping companies raise money now. That's real exciting, helping companies grow so they can hire more people. I'm helping companies raise millions of dollars through Regulation D offerings. And this is what makes America strong, is the growth of small companies. And I know you're doing that, Michael, with your business, with all the leads you're helping people get, high quality leads. And, that's a major turn on when you can help strengthen our economy, grow businesses, put money in people's pockets, create jobs, and have good values, give back socially, doing well by doing good. So Michael, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Well, Dr. Don, this was amazing. I would have loved to have met Ben and see him in the movie Glengarry Glen Ross when they said, sell me this pen.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure he would have an interesting story to tell and speak about the experience and the love of the pen, and not that it writes, but more importantly, who you're writing that letter to is the way I think he would probably go with it. But this has been amazing. How can folks learn more about you?
The easiest way is connect with me on LinkedIn. My name's Dr. Donald Moine, Moine. I've got a simple little website called www.drmoine.com. And I look forward to getting to meet you. If nothing else, we'll have a nice friendship. We can communicate. We can support one another, make this a better world. You know, it's such an exciting time right now, Michael, where we've got the vaccine. Businesses are opening up all over America. People are optimistic. But Michael and I know people are not going to just flood you instantly just because the economy is opening up. The truth is, you're going to have more competition than ever because all of your competitors are looking at it the same way. They're thinking it's going to be great opportunities. So you've got to stay 3 steps ahead of them. You've got to stay 3 months ahead of them. And with the stuff that Michael's doing with leads, what I'm doing with sales psychology, marketing psychology, helping companies raise money, it'd be a pleasure to connect with you, to have a conversation with you, to help your companies grow, help you grow. And together, we're going to make this a better world.